here in the opening term. Plenty of experience in the middle there with the likes of Schloith and Nelson. As we're underway here, round 6. Neither ruckman really effective. West, the former West Coast Eagles, gets first possession up towards full forward. Unable to take the mark down there, West Perth. Strong tackle laid by McQuilkin. Got some separation on that occasion down there, but unfortunately for the Falcons, unable to take the mark was Jasper Scaife, who's had a very good start to the season. Ball comes down here to West again. Hacks a kick forward up towards the boundary line. Great use of the body by Keitel. He'll run it within a metre and put it through for the opening goal of the afternoon. Great body work there from Tyler Keitel.
Yeah, well, there were two good signs there, I reckon, for West Perth. One is that Scaife's attack on the ball from the centre clearance was outstanding, and then his follow-up at ground level to force the stoppage. And the next is obviously Keitel, who's a dual or triple threat, actually, as a forward, because he marks on the lead, but he's also very good at ground level. So South Fremantle defenders are on red alert against those two today.
The truck assist replay, they just get the ball forward, the Falcons, and Tyler Keitel uses his body. We said pre-game that it'd be a key, and already Scaife and he looked dangerous up forward, and he pushed the first one on the board.
Triple Bernie Naylor medalist is the leading goal kicker in a season, Tyler Keitel, and he's got the dream start for the Falcons here this afternoon. Again, two young men, Carter and Branchy at it. Schloith at the fall, can't take the footy away. Opportunity in there still. Parker to Schloith, off now to the ruckman. Branchy kicks out wide towards left half forward. Unlucky bounce out there for the Falcons. Florenka, the hand pass to Donaldson, coming in there Julian. Well done though, the intercept here by Nelson. Goes with the spiral down the outer wing. The boundary line is looming. Molyneux doesn't quite, yes he does keep it alive. His hand pass was knocked back infield, flirting with the chalk out there, and eventually Pearson's content to see it over.
Yeah, Shane Nelson's an amazing player. He wins clearances and then gets it in transition as well. As we look at the recent history between these two sides, and the Falcons have had the wood over the Bulldogs in the last few years, winning 4 and drawing 1 back in 2022.
Boundary throw in, Carter wins it down. No one can take a clear break though. Have another stoppage.
But Shane Nelson, his kicking efficiency is never great, and that was a great example of why, because quite often he gets it and he just bombs it on his boot. It's the only blight on his game, really.
Schloith goes to ground. Carter, stand-start kick up towards half forward. The pack collapses. There's a whistle on play. The free kick is going to go the way of Keitel. And he's got a sou'wester behind him. He is a thumping kick, but this could test him. Man on the marks at about 55 metres. Wouldn't put it past him though. He runs wide of the mark, cribs a few metres. It is a long kick on goal. He just misses to the right-hand side, rattling the woodwork.
Definitely a breeze down there favouring the left of screen.
That's hit the goalpost halfway up. That was a thumping kick by Tyler Keitel. That stand rule gives you the extra opportunity to grab a couple of metres and really hook it around your body, which he did beautifully then.
Pearson runs it out of the goal square, looking towards the outer half-back flank, nudged under the ball by Carter is Branchy. Foot race on at the back. Julian overruns it. Parker is there for South Fremantle. He's tackled ball and all beyond the line.
And get used to seeing the ball out that side of the ground. It is the traditional southwesterly sea breeze. It's not a howler, but it's strong enough to force a lot of play over that side.
In fact, the tackle laid just inside the chalk. Branchy wins it down. Here is Nelson, busy as always. Comes onto that right boot up towards half forward. Scaife double teamed overhead. Overrunning the ball, the Falcons gathered in there by West. Shoots the hand pass out. The shot on goal by Robus, this time missing to the left.
Scaife's contest has been very good. He hasn't had a possession yet, but he's brought the ball to ground twice, and he's looking like a likely mid-season draft prospect as well.
So all the attacking at the moment being done by the Falcons. Kick into play, not tidy. Gathering at ground level is Bletchenden, off to Byron, back to Bletchenden, who shares it with Byron again. Turns into a tackle, quick release. Bletchenden once again, his third possession in the chain as he gives it to McQuilkin, sets it high towards the wing. A lot of congestion around the fall of the ball, and there will be a ball up right in front of the Bulldogs dugout. They're yet to get the ball past halfway. Staying down, Branchy wins it down. Schloith gets it off to Bletchenden. Grubbers a kick towards the boundary line on the wing. Do they keep the ball in? Tackled the ground in there. McDonald, the umpire, says he will have it thrown in.
When you've got a good pressure side, contested side like West Perth, it does force the opposition to handball the ball. And we saw the graphic there a minute ago. South Fremantle already 13 handballs and only 5 kicks. So when that pressure's coming, your first instinct is often to handball the ball, and then the handballs keep coming as West Perth keep applying the pressure.
Neither ruckman effective, it clears them. Kick from West, long towards centre half forward for West Perth, almost getting in each other's way down there. Racing for South Fremantle, does link up by hand, and an opportunity for them to move the ball off half back, but intercepted again out there and pushing forward. West Perth, Keitel double team, taken to ground. Loose ball Racing, now gets it off to Carr, his first possession's a poor one, straight onto the chest of Skender. On the outer wing, he pokes it short. That wasn't overly creative either. Broken up back there by South Fremantle. Schloith on the end of a chain of hand passes. Fumble right out on the boundary line. How will the kick go? It'll dribble down towards the outer side where it's gathered up there by West Perth. A powerful kick going forward, but unfortunately for Scurrier, it's out of play.
So they've had 20 handballs already to 8 kicks, South Fremantle, and they haven't been able to settle into a kick mark game at all. They haven't taken a mark yet, and I think that's something pushing up into the breeze they need to be super aware of, particularly in their back half. It's just try and control the ball a little bit more by foot before they can break the line with a handball receive.
Carter in the ruck again with Branchy, who works his way in front. Back towards the boundary line. Bevan, clever, steps inside Schloith, goes inside 50. The target was robust, couldn't control it. Loose ball gathered by Notty. Grubbers it goalwards, and it bounces out of play. Keegan Knott, a dangerous small man, although he's been a bit lean in regard to goal kicking so far this season.
You look at that disposal for 20%, but that's been a long 20% with the kicking, whereas South Fremantle's disposal is high at 61, but that's all been by hand.
South Fremantle forcing a lot of players back in their defensive 50 here. Short throw in front. Carter wins it down, and he's put it through for a behind.
I think on days like this, you're probably prepared to go 3 goals against the breeze. If you're within 3 goals, you can give yourself a tick. And South, you know, at the moment are holding on, but as we can see, inside 50s is 6-0 in favour of West Perth.
Pearson comes to the attacking side of the ground on this kick in, and that's a very strong mark taken in front. Beautiful fly, beautifully timed there by Bailey Long, a young man, goes deep into the pocket, but it's turned over. Pearson, the man who kicked it in after the behind, takes the mark, goes to the defensive goal square. They're fiddling with it a little bit back there. McQuilkin gets the hand pass away to Byron. Byron goes very wide, and that cross breeze, the sou'wester, who's taken it out on the full.
South Fremantle, the #1 short kick team in the competition. So far, they've only taken 2 marks, and that was just in that play then.
Powerful kick going up towards full forwards. Well delivered. Keitel drops the mark. South Fremantle a chance to clear. The McQuilkin kick though is smothered out of play.
And I love watching Keitel play because he kicks goals in multiple ways. He can get them on the lead. He can turn his opponent, as we saw with the first goal, and then one-on-one he's very good at protecting the drop zone as well, and that's why he kicks so many goals at this level. He's a terrific power forward.
Every player in West Perth's attacking half of the ground at the moment. They'll do well to create something down here. Clearing kick by Ferreira, back towards centre half back. Unable to mark in front there was Carr. Goes after his own hand pass. He's in the centre square now. Goes down the spine of the ground. That's well used. Colborne, though, bounces off his chest. Great recovery. Runs away arrogantly with a bounce. Gets to 55 metres and puts it inside 50 and finds a teammate with ease. Good football there as the captain, Dylan Main, marks 30 out directly in front.
And how often do we see that with all the play and all the players up one end? Then South, with good use by Carr, get the ball from one end to the other into the open space, and ends up with Main. A set shot. He needs to push this at the right post.
Premiership captain sends it on its way. He's read the cross breeze beautifully, and South's first inside 50 results in their opening goal.
Lovely first touch by Carr, gets the ball forward. Colburn wins that one-on-one against Skender, and Dylan Mayne running back towards the goals. Impossible to defend when he could have led any direction. He's smart enough to tick back at the kicker, and he was laced out then. Not an easy finish, but he, as already said, put it out to the right-hand side and brought it back in for the goal.
On the truck assist replay, we can see Colborne there, who's got a good turn of foot. He's quite quick, and then has the smarts to put the ball out in front of Mayne, who provided a beautiful option leading up into this breeze, and a great set shot there by Dylan Mayne. And South would be very happy with the start that they've made, albeit that most of the play has been down West Perth's end for the first 10 minutes of this game.
Again, Carter and Branchy in the ruck. Carter wins it down. There's a whistle on play. The non-controlling umpire, at least the umpire that didn't throw the ball up, has spotted a holding the man decision. And it is going to go the way of South Fremantle. The kick comes out towards the wing. Very short one from Turnbull. Now Ferreira goes short, threading the eye of the needle there and finding Florenka. Too far out to score into this breeze, up towards full forward. In front, clever juggled mark taken there for West Perth. Very good grab down there in defence by Jasper Scaife. Goes short. Bevan indecisive here. Look towards the broadcast side, then goes to the outer wing, or outer flank. On his own is Nelson. Goes long, his kick covers the outer wing. In front, strong mark there by Keitel. He's one of the strongest men in this competition. Well up the ground. Kicks it wide now towards right full forward. At the back, Scaife takes the mark. Can line up on goal here from about 35 out.
Yeah, it's quite a gettable kick today if he pushes this out to the left. I was watching his set shots pre-game, and he had looked to have a very sound routine. He's kicked 8 goals for this year, which suggests he's quite an accurate set shot on goal. So good start by Scaife. He may not have touched the ball too much, but he's given a great contest, and this is good reward for his early pressure.
Needs to give the goal away to the left here. The breeze will take it left to right. Very measured approach. Gets to within 45, sends it on its way, and that is well narrow. Minor score for the Falcons. They could rue this with the breeze. It's 1-4 now. Had their opportunities. Short kick into play. Pearson finds Parker. Pearson keeps running, receives the handball, punches it short just beyond the defensive 50. Juggled attempt to mark by Florenka, unsuccessful.
Already the loss of Noah Strom could be critical here with Keitel and Scaife looking dangerous up forward. Strom can quite often start in a different position, but can go back to help out.
Strom in the ruck here at the moment. Post to Patterson. Ball on the ground. West Perth unable to come away. It's Aaron Black, who's had a quiet start to the game.
I'm talking about Noah Strom. This is Zach Strom in the ruck.
Zach Strom gets fingertips down to it. In there is West, gets a hand pass along the 50-metre arc. Bounces okay for Nelson. He almost hits it with his knee, short towards Knott. Off hands here, Meadows. Goes to ground, hand pass to Knott. Quicksilver, hand pass then to Nelson, who's collared. So the veteran to get the free kick. He's within range. He's not a long kick of the footy, Nelson. He runs around, sends it on its way, and he fails to score at all.
So it will be tough to get a possession as behind the goals today. There's plenty of kids down there.
They really are struggling with accuracy at the moment, West Perth. Opportunities peppering, but 4 behinds and 1 out of bounds now on the full. Pearson the restart, back into the corridor to Bolognese.
Inside 50s, 10-2.
Bolognese will kick it backwards now towards the behind post. Pearson marks, plays on, pulls his kick short towards the outer side. Strom along the boundary line. Playing some keep it off. Ferreira comes inboard. They really are fiddling. Florenka now back inside the defensive 50. Byron goes on a bouncing run, takes a second. Thought about taking a third. He does. He'll nearly get run down from behind. Hand pass is then out awkwardly towards Bletchenden. In fact, it's not Bletchenden. Ferreira can't control it. And a boundary throw in. Might have been better putting boot to ball there before the third bounce. Zach Strom in the ruck again, opposed to Patterson. Neither ruckman get a hand on it. Turnbull tackled by Nelson.
Just getting a period there where South now up to 12 marks. They're just even into the breeze, just defending with the ball in their hand, taking it away from that dominance that West Perth had early in the quarter.
Oh, up too early there, Patterson. Lucky not to give away the free kick. Rundle gets the hand pass to West. He leaves the footy behind. Going in there, Rundle hacks a kick towards half forward. It bounces kindly for Pearson, who attacks it full chest. He goes short into the middle. Maintaining possession, Schleuf gets the hand pass out. Long kick coming up here from Rayson, although he does lower the eyes. At the back it lands with Dylan Main, and he kicks their second, and his second as well. West Perth doing all the attacking at one end, South Fremantle at the other, get another goal and take the lead.
Well, they're playing a smart brand of footy, South. Whilst it may look a little bit cumbersome in their back half with a little bit of over-possession, they're controlling the ball at the moment. They've had 55 disposals to 31. They're starting to get their kick mark game going. They've had 14 marks now, so they're starting to use it by foot a lot better. Chad Pearson's really setting them up. He's the leading possession getter on the ground. So 2 goals from the counter-attack.
The trucker assist replay. Rayson goes forward, gets it long. Mate, good use of the body, just spills through the hands. He doesn't make a mistake. South go up 2 goals, 12 to 1 goal, 4-10. Disposal efficiency the key here, 67% to 31% at the moment.
Branchy in the ruck. Carter gets fingertips to it. Hand pass there from Pickett. Misses Schleuf. Going in now, in fact, is Pickett. Tackled to ground. He's got an arm free there. The umpire says, no, give it to me and I'll throw it up.
And one of the things we see a lot when teams have got the wind is they tend to kick long, thinking that wind's going to do all the work. Well, West Perth should be lowering their eyes a little bit and actually controlling the ball a bit more.
Inside 50 once again, courtesy of Nelson. Bolognese is there strong on that occasion and putting it out of play.
And you mentioned it, Trent, their kicking efficiency is the worst in the competition, and it started off really poorly today.
Don't forget, win-wins throughout the year here with the WAFL. All you need to do to get tickets to come in, wafl.com.au. You can get your tickets online during the week as the ball thrown in on the attacking 50. Carter wins it down. Opportunity for Turnbull, can't get rid of it. Meadows there. Ball almost intercepted by Pickett. It was, in fact, to McQuilkin. To Schleuf, well-weighted hand pass over the top, then to Winder. Comes down towards the wing, in front Strom, strong mark. Just backward of the centre line, South Fremantle. Strom sets it up, plenty of West Perth players at the fall. Running onto it, McDonald, now a chance in there for Rundle. Skender, off to Munns, now off to Long. Little kick down the wing, bounces okay for Schleuf, gives it off to Florenka, run down from behind, thought it maybe hit his boot there, but the umpire saying holding the ball. So the free kick is going to go to Nelson. Meadows is on offer short. Shane Nelson coming off for a pit stop. Meadows pulls his kick, looking for Keitel. He used the body pretty well on Bolognese, but the ball eludes him.
And that holding the ball decision is an interesting one, because if the ball hits your boot, that is a kick, right? If it doesn't hit your boot, it should be holding the ball. And on that occasion, I think the umpire may have missed the fact that it came off his boot.
Branchy starting a long way back here from his opponent. Now he comes in from the side. Posed to Carter, and Branchy does win it down. Schleuf is there. Can't come away with the footy. Desperation being shown in there by West Perth. In the end, it's a turnover. And Scurrier kicks it powerfully. Keitel again uses the body and has taken the mark against Bolognese. And this is an opportunity here for Tyler Keitel to get his second in the opening term.
Just got his starting position wrong, Bolognese there. Needed to be on the shoulder of Keitel. That's how you play Tyler Keitel. You do not want to get in front of him.
Here's modern day footy. Goes around his body. Has he pulled it too severely? No, he hasn't. inside the left goalpost. So Main at one end, 2 for South Fremantle, Keitel at the other, 2 for the Falcons.
Yeah, I think with Tyler Keitel, you're playing him on the shoulder as much as possible, forcing him up at the ball and then trying to spoil if they lace him out. But the way West Perth kick the ball, they don't often kick that well to a leading player anyway. They tend to just bomb it in there, so play him on his shoulder. Their kicking efficiency is 34% at the moment, West Perth.
Long kick forward by Scurrier to the advantage of Keitel, just holds his opponent out. They've got the size advantage down there today, West Perth, when the ball can come in quickly. Goes around, screw around the corner, no mistake, and a much needed goal for West Perth to get the most out of this breeze.
We'd still say that South Fremantle have won the quarter, even though West Perth have done the bulk of the attacking. Schleuf gets a hand pass out to Winder, takes a bounce. He's got a runner outside him, opts not to use Ferreira. Goes long and direct through the hands of Strom overhead. Cavalry goes back there in defence. Guadden gets the quick hand pass away to Julian, a turnover. Strom gets it, hand passes off to Turnbull, snaps and goals. Just got inside the left goalpost. The ball spun at the right time. Another goal to the Bulldogs.
Only the 4th inside 50 for South Fremantle, but that's 3 goals now, and they're looking really dangerous down there. They've had a lot of space the first time they scored the 2 goals. That time it wasn't the case. They just looked a bit more desperate on the ground than West Perth, and ball come through into the hands of Turnbull, and a nice snap that just snuck through, but worth the full 6 points.
And we can see the intercept there. Strom gets the handball out and Turnbull just with a nice snap around the body. And South Fremantle now 3 goals from 4 inside 50s, and they're looking dangerous inside their forward line. For a relatively low-scoring side at the moment, they're finding some different avenues to goal, and they can be very pleased with the way they've started this game.
Ruckman share it overhead. Schleuf is there. Tackled from behind by Bevan. He wriggles out of it. Goes direct towards full forward. Over the back, the mark dropped by Skender. Supported ground level by Long, who comes out to the co-captain Munns. Munns now, good use of the footy. Back into the corridor. Bevan was all on his own. Teammate running outside him, Skender. From the defensive 50, linking up well round the outer side. Cooper Todd, the hand pass to Nelson. Just forward of the outer wing, he pulls his kick back. Looking here for Patterson, strong mark in front. Attacking edge of the centre square. West Perth deep inside 50, Keitel again. Well, he's proving some real problems back there, Michael Broadbridge.
Yeah, they created a domino effect out the far side where the South Fremantle players all had to press up onto West Perth ball carriers, and Keitel found some space by himself, and it caused a bit of a mismatch there with his direct opponent, who has been for most of the quarter Bolognese, and McQuilkin had to go over there and put pressure on and just gave away, well, he didn't give away the free kick. Keitel was too strong. Let's see if he's learnt from that earlier miss from that side of the ground.
And he comes looking for his 3rd in the first quarter, and he has nailed it. Tyler Keitel putting on a forward clinic at the moment here at Arena Joondalup.
Keitel getting into space, as already talked about. They had the domino effect going all the way through there, and Keitel was left on his own. He's probably not the one you want to leave on his own. They did leave the least dangerous from where he was in the part of that ground, but he's such a good kick, such a good finisher, he made no mistake.
Yeah. And Shane Nelson's kick, he found the open player as well, so it's one of the first times today they've managed to find it by foot. And we can see the inside 50 kick there by Patterson to Keitel. He found a little bit of pocket of space and then a beautiful finish with the set shot. And he has been on fire at the start of this game, Tyler Keitel.
4th lead change of the opening quarter here at Pentanet Stadium. Branchy and Carter again to go head-to-head in the middle. One down in there by Branchy, straight down the throat of Schleuf. Forced onto the left boot this time. Misses a target inside 50. Julian back there. Steps around an opponent. Shows some confidence there. Goes low towards the outer side. But the only man back there racing for South Fremantle. Kicks along the ground. Intercepted by Cooper Todd. Up towards teammate who gathered well on the half volley. But then the tackle laid. But that was a very good pickup for a tall man coming out there, Zach Patterson. Just his 8th game for the Falcons.
Looking down on the bench, Jake Florenka has been there for quite a while getting work done on his left hamstring, so let's hope there's nothing serious there. He hasn't been on the ground for quite a while.
Loose ball, Winder wrests it off the ground, gives it to McDonald, back to Winder, who now receives it after a fumble from Branchy. Wriggles out of a tackle. Some fancy footwork out there by Isaiah Winder, long and errant, missing to the left-hand side, out on the full.
Good recruit for South this year, though. Just gives him a bit of X factor. He's got some pace and some skills, and on that occasion perhaps made the wrong decision in the end or didn't execute properly, but it's been a very good player so far for South this year.
Scott Nelson brings it back into play, flirting with the boundary line on the outer side, over the back, Parker. Well tackled by West. He had the arms free. That'll be holding the ball. Connor West kicks into the centre square. Julian held up there by Schloith after marking. Goes short along the edge of the centre square, presenting. Patterson once again, making a good start to the game. Kicks into the man on the mark, put the mocker on him there. The ball ricocheting to Carr, tackled the ground.
They've certainly got some size up forward, haven't they, West Perth, with Patterson, Scaife and Keitel. There wouldn't be too many WAFL sides with that sort of firepower and height up forward.
One down by Carter, coming onto the ball. Nelson gets a kind bounce. Quick release kick to the top of the goal square. Back there, Scaife, double team, can't mark. Pearson tackled well in there, and the ball taken out of play in the end by Rayson, and it will be thrown in. Deep at right, full forward. West Perth would like a little bit more return here in this quarter with the wind. Hamstring injury there for Jake Florenka. Played a game for the West Coast Eagles in the top-up COVID era, but he may be done and dusted by the look of it today. Ruckman don't get a hand on it. Falls to the back. Shot on goal. West Perth get another. Great snap there by Jack DeMart. So the Falcons getting some late reward with the wind.
He's a little bit of a Keegan Knott lookalike. They could almost be brothers. There they are together. Got the same shoelace around their head. But very similar, and obviously got a bit of goal sense as well. I had to look twice there. I thought it was Keegan who may have snapped that one. But they'd be very happy playing at the feet of those tools in the forward line. And as we see, DeMart on the left foot, beautiful snap, and with Keegan Knott down there and those tall forwards, if West Perth can keep the supply up, there's some threats inside the forward 50 for West Perth.
As you mentioned, or Trent mentioned, Michael, the issue is no Noah Strom today. He has been playing up forward, but he's such a good, tall, key defender. He's out suspended. South would love to have him out there at the moment. One down by Branchy. Meadows is there. Can't affect a kick. That will be an illegal disposal. So it's going to be a free kick to South Fremantle. In fact, a free handball. Turnbull gives it to Parker. Just got rid of it in time to McQuilkin. Back then to Turnbull, who pokes it short towards the wing. And the reigning best and fairest Tom Bletchenden chips it short. Carr on debut. He measures a short kick as well. Well up the ground, Dylan Main. Kicked their first 2 goals. He pokes it short, and they're just tacking their way up the wing here. Turnbull, who was earlier in this chain, kicks up towards full forward. Through the hands of Munns back there. Opportunity. Donaldson gives it to Schloith. Clever play. Rather than trying to snap across the body, he used the peripheral vision and has spotted a teammate just inside the attacking 50. So Ferreira, a chance to close the gap just shy of quarter time.
Tough kick. I think he will have the distance, and really important as well, because South have been terrific in this first quarter, and this will make it very tight at quarter time.
A recruit from the Jandakot Jets Junior Football Club sends it on its way, and Ferreira gets a very important goal into the win for the Bulldogs late in term 1.
And Sloyth's ability there just to make the game slow down and find the open play with a little left foot dink kick. And that's the beauty of having Hayden Sloyth out there. He has had 10 possessions this quarter, and 3 or 4 of them have been very damaging. He's a class act when he gets the ball. And he set up the teammate for the shot on goal. And South will be going at quarter time in a minute or so, very happy. You see Donaldson shovel the handball out there to Sloyth, and he's just got the presence of mind to chip the little left foot kick in, and Ferreira there finishes off beautifully. Not an easy kick, but nice technique, and well done South. It's going to be very tight at quarter time.
Siren will go very shortly. One down there by Branchy. Nelson over the footy, but it's socked away by Branchy. Up towards half forward. Well done by Gwadden, and rides the bump and then uses it nicely to Rundle. Rundle now gives it everything. Out towards Keitel. He had to get there in the end and effect a spoil. Turnbull on the fall, gets the hand pass away to Parker. Backwards then. Long kick by Molyneux towards the outer wing. West Perth have some numbers at the fall. Black. Hand pass to Nelson. Hemmed in on the boundary line. Back across the body. Up towards the line, and in fact will go out of play. West Perth got enough time here to manufacture a late one. Closing in on the 32-minute mark. Zach Strom will do the ruck work here, opposed to Patterson. Zach Strom used the body well, wins it down. Turnbull has had a good start to the game, kicks out wide, and in the end, Gwadden is content to take it over the chalk. Beautiful day for football here at Pentanet Stadium. And a tight start. Again, Zach Strom in the ruck. Comes to the front of the pack. Meadows is there fighting for the footy. He gathers it, then loses it. Nelson just soccers the ball forward. Keeping it alive down there. Nelson to Bevan. Loops a hand pass over the top to Knott. Can be dangerous in this situation. Can he find a target? Ferreira drops the mark. Molyneux has a fumble. Chance in there for Keitel, who in the end has to lay the tackle, and it will be a ball up.
Yeah, smart coaching by South. I've just rolled Pearson off, Chad Pearson off behind the ball to give an extra number and make it hard for West Perth in these dying seconds of the first quarter.
One down by Patterson, coming through. Is that a free kick? Gee, it looked like that was going to be a free kick with Pearson taking down his opponent, DeMart. Certainly didn't have the footy at the time. The ball congested here on the flank, and we'll have a ball up, but Pearson may have been very lucky there not to give away a shot on goal.
Yeah, it was one of those ones where DeMart had the ball in his hands and it spilt out, but the tackle lingered.
Quarter time here at Pentanet Stadium. Round 6 Saturday afternoon action. It's very tight at the break. The Falcons up by 4 points. As Neil said, terrific conditions here for Australian football. Branchy over the top actually takes clean possession. Couldn't get a kick away. Connor West's hand pass under pressure from Schloith. Meadows taken to ground. Loose ball comes out in favour of Winder. Beautiful hand pass to Pickett, but he kicks it off the wrong side of the boot, or at least the outside of the boot, and has put it out of play on the full.
Yes, there wasn't much foot contact on leather there, but great play by South to burst from the stoppage, and Hayden Sloyth looking very lively. Leading possession getter on the ground with 10 disposals in the first quarter, and he's just such a smart, effective player.
Skender's gone to the goal square, and Scott Nelson, we saw that 1999 package. Skender's father, Ron Skender, was actually playing out there on that day. So we've got a second generation West Perth player out on the ground. Jai Skender, his dad actually played for Swans and West Perth, but played in that 1999 premiership for the Falcons. Will his son do that later this year? They made a good start to the season, the Falcons. 4th on the ladder. Schloith brings the ball down, not quite to his own advantage. Now he does get it, in fact. Hand pass, though, intercepted by Rundle. Hand passes towards the boundary line. Parker, a hand pass off then, but unable to keep the ball in play. The first game, a car. Still a sou'wester blowing to the left of screen. South Fremantle wanting to make the most of it in this second term. Zach Strom in the ruck. Clears both he and Carter. At the back, little check side on goal, doesn't quite have the carry off the boot there of Winder and put through for the behind.
It was quite a high scoring first quarter for these two teams. Both teams went at about 50% of their forward 50 entries. They had shots on goal. South Fremantle kicked 4 straight, obviously. West Perth 4 goals 4. So good start to the game. Plenty of offence and both teams looking very threatening when they go forward.
Julian Stantark poke along the boundary line to Scott Nelson. He keeps it short as well, but a good mark in front by Strom. That was a mismatch overhead against Nelson as he kicks it back then towards the wing and Parker. Parker gets a good little shepherd on the mark, allows him some time and space, and that is a great mark under pressure by Dylan Main. 2 first quarter goals. And that was an outstanding grab on the lead.
Yeah, they're playing Main closer to goal and Strom's sort of hitting up across half forward. And Main's already kicked 2, as you say, Glenn. But look at this, like a slips catch, really. Great diving mark. We saw a goal. Keitel's kick one from this spot in the first quarter. Has Main learnt anything from that kick?
Managed to kick it to the left of the far goal post as he's looking. Sends it on its way. He's read the breeze beautifully. 3 goals to Dylan Main for Souths, 3 at the other end for Tyler Keitel.
Good intercept mark from Strom was what set that up. West Perth trying to play like South Fremantle did with that possession game, but just coughed one up with the wrong matchup. Strom brings the ball back in the middle to Parker, and then what a pass that was. The lowering the eyes. Main's not a tall target, so the kicks have to be good for him, but it was absolutely lace out and a very good grab as well.
You can see on the Crown replay there, Parker's kick to the leading Dylan Main, who outstretched 2 arms, protected the ball as his arms hit the ground. Beautiful mark, and then finishes most importantly. And South continue their very accurate start to the game. Dylan Main 3 goals, and South have kicked 3 of their goals from turnovers. Really intercepting the ball well across the middle of the ground and then turning that into a scoring opportunity.
Schloith soccers off the ground. West Perth will get there first, though, through Todd. Little look away hand pass to Guadinin. Kicks down towards the wing. Easy opportunity for the back there for the Pearson spoil. All knocked along the line. Parker needs to straighten up. Gets it off to Bourne. Good evasive skills. Can come back by hand to Pearson. Is that 15 metres? The umpire says yes. And the mark taken by Donaldson. Just backward of the wing. He's got Bourne outside him, wanting it on the boundary line. Still goes short, but over the outstretched hands of Schloith. Back the kick down ground by Scott Nelson. Schloith in the mix again, but he's taken to ground by Nelson and will have a ball up. No, going to have a high challenge. The free kick is going to go the way of Shane Nelson. Chad Pearson pleading his case as he picks himself up. Nelson floats the ball up towards 50. Great pick up on the half volley. The hand pass comes out towards Skender. That was out towards Meadows. A great pick up by Skender. Towards the boundary line goes the ball. Kelly gets it off towards Rayson and then off to McQuilkin, who goes on the diagonal into the path of Bletchenden. Got a cruel kick out there. Still gets the hand pass away though. McDonald gives it back to Tommy Bletchenden. One bounce as he gets up towards the wing. Powerful kick then, flirting with the boundary line, and it has gone out of play on the full.
And Glenn, just watching down on the boundary line, they've been working with Jake Florenka, trying to get him right, but I reckon he's very close to being iced for the day. The physio's having a chat with him now, but I think it's just about day over for Jake Florenka, unfortunately, with a left hamstring injury.
Big loss because he's a very influential player normally. So the ball now with Hinder. He played in a premiership in just his 5th senior game a few years ago. Made it awkward there for his teammates, though. Going down, holding his head is Bourne. No whistle. There is now, though, for a high tackle. Bourne is slow to get up. He immediately put his hand to his head there in that passage. So Dylan Mayne, probably too far out to score, has 3 already. He does pull a bit off the kick. He goes looking for Zach Strom, but plenty of red and blue around him, including Gwadden, who pokes the ball short now to Scott Nelson beyond the defensive 50.
I'd like to see Zach Strom just be the long contested marking option in that play. Other players can lead, because Zach Strom's probably their best one-on-one mark. Top of the goal square would have been a real threat there.
Bevan, a little indecisive. Come along the boundary line. See that kick into the breeze. The ball really does die at the back. Picked up by South Fremantle through Grayson to Pearson, and then off to Winder, who uses the ball well. It's a very good kick towards the boundary line. It needed to be measured. Bourne has recovered from that head knock. Plays on long to full forward, and Strom in front takes the strong mark.
Yeah, and that's the sort of positioning for the last kick by Dylan Mayne that Zach Strom is at his best when he's one-on-one. He extends his arms, and his hands are like vice grip when they get on the footy. He's been incredibly accurate this year. He's kicked 9 goals, 1, which is really accurate, and he's got the breeze straight over his shoulder here, so he should just kick this straight over the goal umpire's head.
Zach Strom, best and fairest in their premiership year of 2020, pokes at it and misses to the left-hand side.
Yeah, he probably didn't kick through it, did he? It was just a little dinky kick. He perhaps could have kicked with a little bit more authority.
It's pretty looked like he allowed for the breeze, but he's probably close enough to not give the goals away. Give the cup away when you're putting.
Griffith Julian restarts, looks for Connor West on the defensive 50. He's got a player running by. Black loops a hand pass over the top to Gwadden by hand. Stand start kick, beautiful one back into the middle of the ground. Julian there linking up with Hinder, back to Hinder. He'll get run down, no. Takes a bounce, surges to the attacking 50, kicks then up towards full forward. Can they arrest the ball right on the line? They can, but hit the post.
Has got some wheels, Joey Hinder.
Yeah.
I saw that then. He was a former junior triple jump champion.
Del Mark, though, 1 goal, 1 for him. Missing and hitting the far goal post, bringing the ball back into play. South Fremantle through Byron towards the outer side. Nelson shovels it to Hinder, confronted, loses the ball. Donaldson's hand pass will be gathered in the end. Is that an illegal disposal by Turnbull? No, the umpire lets it roll on. Carter is there, the big ruckman fighting for it on the ground. So too Donaldson for South Fremantle. The ball hacked out. Winder by hand to Schloith. Schloith sharing the ball on the outer side. The kick goes forward then from Bletchenden out wide. South Fremantle maintained possession. Kick straight into the man on the mark there from Carr, but he recovers, goes up towards Mayne, bounces off his chest. Boundary line looming. McDonald hacks a kick forward. It Grubbers out of play.
Important match up now, riding in on Mayne. He's very dangerous, and he's going to be a big part if you can cut him out of his influential forward play. West Perth will need that, particularly in quarters like this, into the breeze.
Branchy to do the ruck work opposed to Carter. Umpire's got to give it a fair bit of oomph. He's throwing into the wind. It is a shallow throw in. Going over the top of the footy, Skender. Good tackle laid in there by Colborne. Ball is still loose. Mayne with it. Dragged down as he tries to kick. Can they get one on the line? Touched. In fact, it may have been socked by Colborne the wrong side of the line.
Been interesting to see that again. Well, that's a good video replay, that one, I think, if we had that facility in the WAFL, which we don't.
The shin.
Scurrier kicks to the outer side. Todd the target, didn't get there. At the back, Rayson, a hand pass to Pearson. Defender well up the ground, loses it, regathers. Schloith gets it by hand to Bletchenden, right on the boundary line, sets it to the top of the goal square. Big fly by Hinder with the fist. Scott Nelson, ground level, goes to ball, goes to ground, releases to Bevan, gives a little shove, and then kicks out wide. Nelson the target as he marked it in the field of play he has. Continues to rack up possessions. Shane Nelson, good use of the footy to the outer wing. Todd runs inboard, thought about taking a bounce, then kicks up to left half forward. Keitel uses Bolanew as a step ladder. Too far out to score, the big man. In fact, it wasn't Keitel. Here is Keitel now. Traps it on the line. He'll do what he did to get the game underway. Runs into the goal line and puts it through. Keitel has 4 first half goals.
Big grab from Scaife on the far side. The Twin Towers done the job again there. Launched. Keitel's opponent actually come towards Scaife. He recognised the damage but couldn't do anything about that, which then gave Keitel the space. The kick was to advantage, but then Keitel's shown some great athleticism on the ground today, which isn't always his go, but he's kicked 2 goals in very similar fashion.
On the Crown replay, Scaife gets a bit of elevation there. Beautiful mark by the big man. Then he's got the presence of mind to wheel around, get it out the back to Keitel, who once again turns his direct opponent, gets goal side and runs into an open goal. And as mentioned in the first quarter, Tyler Keitel is an expert at doing that. He will kick goals from the goal square more than any other player in the WAFL if you let him. You've got to keep him in front of you as much as you can if you're defending Tyler Keitel.
Ball back in the middle, thrown up. One down by Carter to West with strength. Hand pass knocked down though. Strom is in there, gathers, finds his feet, kicks with the left boot up towards the 50 and beyond. Scott Nelson back in defence. Just hurriedly throws it on the boot. It'll come off. Meadows backward of the outer wing, takes the mark. Goes short and wide. Connor West, just like a waiter with a tray on his palm, takes the mark right in front of the scoreboard, which has been tight all day. Goes short. Nelson off the outside of the boot, over the head of Scaife, but he has good recovery at ground level. Not a fumble, then hacks the ball forward. Foot race on. Black gets it. His kick is knocked down. Opportunity for South Fremantle to come out from the last line, and they will, courtesy of a high tackle there. High challenge by Scaife, and Pearson with the free kick. Gets on with it immediately to Parker. Former Saint and Tiger in the AFL. Shielding his eyes from the sun. Pulls the trigger and goes very short to Bletchenden, just beyond the defensive 50. Goes short to Schleut. He sat it in the air. His opposing number 1, Black gets it, goes inside 50. Bolanew was nudged into that mark. Not gently by Keitel. He plays on now. Pearson goes short. Hinder though reads the footy, gathers off his bootlaces, shoots from a tight angle and just squeezes it in from behind.
Rare mistake from Pearson. He's played very well today, but that occasion, Hinder read where it was going and took off, and he's got some jets.
Well, Chad Pearson to be one of the best distributors by foot in the back half in the WAFL. He's been awesome today, but he just had a little error there, obviously. Big turnover.
Restart, marked by Winder. Strength through the core. And he was tackled. Gives off to McQuilkin. Goes wide. Bletchenden to the target. Todd falls over, so Bletchenden gets an open run at it. Goes inside 50. Looking here for Colborne. Off hands Guadagnon. Hand passes towards no one in particular, and there'll be a boundary throw in. Don't forget, we've got our WAFL Wonderland through the first half of the season. Different games every weekend. All you need to do is to go to the WAFL website. There's everything happening. DJs, face painting, bouncy castles, everything for the kids to get involved, with the whole family in fact, at various WAFL venues up till June as the ball is thrown in. Out of sight. Neither ruckman get a hand on it. Sliding in Nelson. His hand pass knocked down. Strom slides in as well. Parker spun out of one tackle into another, but no prior opportunity. And a ball up. Umpire pulls the trigger again. The ruckman not effective. Carter at the second attempt swats it to the line. Parker keeps it alive. Steps around Bevan. Steps around Carter. Unloads now and misses everything. No, just squeezes it into the right for the minor score. Both teams peppering at either end. A couple out of bounds on the full in the last few minutes. Griffith-Julian to restart. Goes short down the corridor, presenting Scurrier. He goes into the centre square. Not too sure about that. That was easily chopped off back there by Rayson. Indecisive, goes short in the end to Winder. Winder then goes short inside 50, and they can line up on goal here through Colborne. If he wants to take the shot, he looked momentarily as if he was going to give it off, but he's going to go back and take the shot from just inside 50.
I really like that play by South. Would have been tempted to go long with the breeze, but no, they dropped it short, and they've got a real clear game plan, I think, today against West Perth to keep possession by kick, mark, and on that occasion, great play, get the shot on goal.
Close to the man on the mark, sends it on its way and puts it through. South Fremantle getting one with the breeze, courtesy of Riley Colborne, and with it, they wrest back the lead.
Yeah, just good build up there, and you can see the South Fremantle, all the midfielders were giving little tick leads into that space. They were all looking for that little short kick, and I think that would have been the direction by Todd Curley at quarter times. Don't just blaze away. Let's look for our teammates when we got the chance to keep possession of the ball and get that shot from 40 metres out, because we know the breeze will help us with the distance.
The Crown replay. Winder's been very good this quarter. Lowered his eyes, hits up the pass for Colborne, and he makes no mistake. South Fremantle, the #1 short kick team coming into this week, and have still maintained that game style, even kicking with the breeze. It's been very effective thus far.
One down in the middle by Patterson. Ball comes back beneath his body, though. You're going to have a ball up.
And the ruck contest, as expected, very even. 15 hit-outs to 13 in favour of West Perth, and these two ruckmen average 31 and 32 hit-outs each, so it's a very even ruck contest.
Branchy wins it down. Meadows pulled off his kick. It bounces to Bletchenden. He's taken to ground.
Similar styles of rucks too, so it'll be interesting, that battle all day.
Branchy wins it down, bounces off the shoulder of Schleut, who's already racked up 14 disposals in the game. It comes out to him now. Can he get a hand pass away? He can, but he misses his teammate. Just to knock the ball along the ground instead of pushing the back it is.
Yeah, well, he's had 5 clearances and 8 contested possessions, Hayden Sleuth. He's having some sort of game. 15 disposals, been very influential.
Bletchenden with the free to the outer side. Big leap, big mark. Great grab taken out there by the first gamer. Carr plays on immediately. Gives it a good roost on the wind up towards right half forward, but in the end, Strom can't keep it in play, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Pre-game, Todd Curley said that Jaron Carr's surprisingly good overhead. I'm not sure if he was having a crack at his old man for that one or just his height, but that was a very good mark, wasn't it?
So waiting the boundary throw in.
Well, Matt was very good overhead as well. Probably took a few marks like that. He'll probably say they were a little bit better, but he was very strong overhead as well.
One down from behind by Branchy. Another disposal for Schleut. He bounces it to Bletchenden, back to Schleut. Goes to ground. He does have a habit of ducking the head, Hayden Schleut. It took a while for umpires to figure that out earlier in his career, but on that occasion he did it again, and the umpire held the whistle.
Thought it was probably holding the ball in the end.
One down by Branchy, but straight down the throat of Connor West. Long kick into the middle of the ground at the back, leaving the footy behind. Initially was South Fremantle, but gathered by Molyneux, puts it to the outer side. Parker in space. He rolls immediately. Schleut has worked his way free at right half forward. Normally a good user of the ball, Schleut. And he is once again. Pokes it short. Colborne marks on the lead. Kicked their last goal. Can line up again here for another.
Parker's really come into the game this quarter, and he's been very influential with his ball use.
Colborne doesn't take the shot. He sets it up to the top of the goal square. Strom, the big leap, couldn't take the mark. Ground level ball, Julian tackled, and we'll have a stoppage about 15, 18 metres out from South's goal. Strom using the body, comes down to Munns. Quick kick to centre half back. McQuilkin slides off his fist. Ground level ball, getting there Byron, back to Molyneux, kicks into the oncoming traffic in Rundle and ricochets to Keitel. He's got run coming from Meadows. Meadows now will kick it into the path of a teammate in Scaife. If it sits for him, he's in business. Didn't get the kindest of bounces, and this allows South Fremantle to tidy up. Short kick from Molyneux, marked by McQuilkin, kicks it out wide to Ferreira. Ferreira now as a player working his way free, and the mark taken by McDonald. He'll go short again. Strom through his hands. Opportunity for Munns to clear. Great gather there. It was a slick hand pass. Easily reined in by West, who finds Knott on the wing. Keegan Knott will get the whistle. He does now. Comes along the boundary line. Target there is Scaife, off hands, ground level. Bevan wriggles out of the tackle, rides the bump, goes long. It's not a bad effort, just fades across the face.
Yeah, Tyler Keitel was wanting the one-on-one just to pop it up to the contest just off the edge of the square, and it's a very difficult pocket to kick goals from today. It's always going to drift right to left.
Short poke into play. McQuilkin marks, plays on, runs away from Keitel and pushes it wide to Pearson on the defensive 50. Pearson goes looking and finding Pickett. Pickett plays on, confronted. Meadows has done well there, gets the hand pass backwards though to Carr, who gives it off then towards Ferreira. Back to Carr, tried to do too much, the youngster, run down by Black. Didn't hear the footsteps coming. Aaron Black, game number 255. Plays on short. West not paid that. It was a half volley. So he's got to get on with it up towards Knott. He can't control the ball. McQuilkin, did he get a fist on that? He did, according to the umpire. Again, Black, the tackler, this time on Pearson. Another stoppage. It's been a tight game throughout. Plenty of lead changes in the first two quarters. Patterson, nice climb, then goes after his own palmed ball and has tackled the ground.
Yeah, well, South have settled into a nice rhythm now. They over-handballed early, but now their kick-to-handball ratio is really settling down. 100 kicks, 71 handballs, starting to use the ball well.
Bletchenden, the hand pass out to Main. Skipper goes along the boundary line. Good work in front there, holding his ground. It was Skender. Opposed to Colborne, and we'll have the boundary throw-in.
And the stats are evening up as well. Contested possession 63 to 69 in favour of South Fremantle, and they've got on top in that area in this quarter. And South are dominating the uncontested possessions. They're up about 30, 36 in that area.
Hayden Schleuf off for a break, just coming through the interchange gate. In front, Patterson wins it down. He'll do his own roving. It's a hand pass away to Meadows. Meadows misses the target, Bevan, but he's backed up by Todd. West Perth go inside there. 50, good mark by Scaife. Geez, an impressive young player. He'll be kicking straight into the teeth of the Sou'wester from where he is. This will take a very good kick.
Well, he's taken the most marks for West Perth this year, and as a key forward, it's quite unusual because normally it's their half back line or your midfielders who rack up the uncontested marks, but he's taken over 20 marks already this year. He's got very good hands.
This will take a very good kick. As I said, he's kicking straight into a Sou'wester. He'll strike it from about 52 metres out. It is a pretty good effort, but touched through on the line by the Bulldogs' ruckman, Branchy. Pearson with the restart. Down the outer edge of the centre square. Main the target. Vice-like grip opposed to Nelson. He's got runners outside. Parker has pace. He'll take a bounce. Running away from Shane Nelson. Comes to a halt and then goes backwards to his captain. So Dylan Main on the outer wing. Ebbing towards half-time. He goes further afield, out wide. The ball with Winder. Very casual little dab forward to Turnbull. Turnbull now comes in towards centre half forward. Ferreira's worked his way free. Goes for the pass inside 50. Not sure who it was really intended to. Big pack at the fall of the ball, and the umpire will ball it up deep inside South Fremantle's attacking half.
Yeah, that was the only kick in that chain that had sort of some uncertainty about the intention. Other than that, very good build-up play by South.
One down in there by Patterson, laying the tackle as Scurrier. Ball going nowhere. Branchy works his way in front, but too tall. Patterson brings the ball to ground, and we're going to have another stoppage. So time ticking away here, moving towards half-time. Again, the ball going nowhere with Bevan laying the tackle. Tossed up again. In fact, it's Carter now in the ruck. Nelson does well, rides a bump as he kicks the defensive 50. Not is there. Quick hand pass under a lot of pressure to West. West goes out wide to Julian. Julian now short under the chest of Todd. West Perth look like they're content here into the breeze just to play for half-time as Todd goes long, covers the outer wing, and there is half-time. Just as West Perth surge away through Rundle. We're heading to the long break here at Pentanet Stadium, a game that has been close throughout, and we've had numerous... Tossed up, one down by Branchy, straight down the throat of Parker, who had a good second quarter, draws a couple, gives it back to Branchy. Powerful left foot kick into the wind, coming out in front, Strom, couldn't take the mark, Main with strength, gets it off to Bourne, concedes some ground to Schloith. 18th disposal of the game, flirting with the boundary line. Glodden back with courage. Off hands. Strom has it trapped beneath him. In fact, is that Strom? No, it's racing down there. Main, in fact, at the bottom of the pack's landed pretty heavily. So down to a three-man bench, the Bulldogs, with Florenka out with a hamstring strain. One down in there by West Perth towards the boundary line from Carter. And we're going to have a boundary throw, and it just gets over the chalk. So Strom to do the ruck work opposed to Carter. Strom uses the body, takes clean possession. He's going to take the snap on goal from about 25 out. Fisted away by West Perth. Running into it, though, is Carr, dispossessed. Julian with the footy. High kick to the defensive 50. Hinder tried to work his opponent under the footy, but he stood his ground for error. And the ball will be thrown in.
West Perth getting very high, which is enabling South Fremantle to play the extra player back, which is going to help them to negate Keitel and Scaife.
All bar two players at the moment in South Fremantle's attacking half.
The captain, Chad Pearson, coming up back to play that role.
Short throw in. One down on the second attempt there by Strom. Munns runs into a brick wall, then goes back in and aids with the tackle.
What it actually is, Zach Strom takes the ruck work in the forward 50 and Branchy sits a kick behind play, but he actually goes and picks up a West Perth forward to enable Pearson to drop off. If you look at that now, Branchy's on Keegan Knott. Talk about a mismatch, but that's what they like to do, free up their best ball user in Chad Pearson behind the ball.
Schloith stole the ball there off Nelson, but turned into a brick wall.
So they'll be okay with this match up here, but if Keegan Knott can take Branchy close to goal, it's very dangerous.
One down in there by Carter, but straight to Parker. Kicks inside 50. Good mark back there by Julian. Now they can go on the break round the far side. Marked inside the defensive 50 by Black. He wants to hold things up as he waits for teammates to migrate from one side of the ground to the other. He's found Guadagnon on the defensive 50. He punches it low along the line. Scott Nelson with it. Gives it a good roost down the outer wing. Big pack at the fall. Off hands. Gathered by Winder. No, he left the footy behind. West is there. Shovels it out to Skender, who hand passes into traffic. In fact, it was Carter into traffic. So a rather stop-start to this third quarter. A lot of ball-ups around the ground.
And West Perth know this ground better than anyone else, obviously, and they need to get the ball on this side of the ground as much as possible because that is the dead side of the ground, and South will be happy to play most of the quarter out there if they can. Carter
penalised for shepherding in the ruck, so Branchy with the free kick, which he turns into a free hand pass to Parker. He gives it a good ride, out very wide though, and the ball has gone straight into the waiting arms of Guadagnon. On the defensive 50. Been a reliable defender for quite some time. That's not overly reliable. He's actually grubbed the ball down the wing. Meadows does well by hand to Nelson. Gets it off then to Todd, who under pressure has turned the ball over with the big ruckman Branchy marking on the wing. Dishes off by hand to Schloith and then McQuilkin. McQuilkin now goes towards the defensive 50. Running mark by Molyneux. Takes a bounce. Takes two. Runs into trouble then and gets the hand pass away to a teammate who gives it back to him. That ball interchange there between Turley and Molyneux. In the meantime, Colborne the mark. Off to Ferreira. Good use of the body by Strom, but standing strongly in front there. West Perth able to make a contest through Munns. In the end, Scurrier. High kick. Clears the wing. Not has it knocked away from him there by Byron and a boundary throw in. But that was very strong then by Munns.
And that has been the matchup most of the day. Munns on Zach Strom. He's giving away plenty of inches, but he's obviously very good one-on-one, and he used his body to great effect there to stop Strom from marking that ball.
Branchy and Carter in the ruck. One down by Branchy. Nelson tries to shark it, shovels it out into the path of Meadows. Was he grabbed when not in possession? Yes. Umpire took a bit of time to blow the whistle there.
I would have thought he had the ball then.
Yeah, I agree. He's only had one effective kick so far for the day. He's a player that can really light up the second half and help West Perth.
Simpson medal in a premiership a few years ago as he finds Black, a Sandover medalist. 10 years ago now, 2014, Aaron Black won the medal as he goes back inboard to a 5-time best and fairest in Nelson. A couple of medals there between all that lot, or more than a couple. This is long.
And already you can see West Perth changed the way they're going with the breeze. They're looking to keep it short and get the ball closer to their forward 50 before they kick it long as well. That's 3 or 4 uncontested marks. South have got them covered now. And there's another one.
Yeah, Black pops it short. Julian's well down the ground from defence. There's a sea of players in front of him. Runs wide of Schloith on the mark and then pulls the kick back into the pocket. Keitel, yes. Juggled on the third attempt.
He's really keeping them in this game. He's kicked 4 of their 5 goals, and he's a threat every time the ball goes to him.
See Keitel leading goal scorer at the moment on 12. This will make it 13. Give him a 3-goal lead over Coleman, Manuel and Wilson.
Again, he's going to go around the body. He did so in the first quarter from a far less angle. Round the body he goes. He's made good contact, but he's pushed it across the face.
Really important by Carter. He pushed forward then because Branchy was got double teaming Keitel, but when Carter went forward, it meant that Branchy had to go with him, which gave Keitel that one-on-one battle, which is so hard to beat in.
You can see South Fremantle huddling for this kick out and then spreading out wide.
Pearson with it. Good use of the footy onto the chest of Kickett on the outer side. He plays on, goes short towards the wing. Good pick up there by Bletchner, but his hand pass misses his target. Under pressure now. Shovels it back to Molyneux. Kicks along the line. Byron did the hard work, but dropped the mark. He hand passes to Carr, but he is the wrong side of the boundary line.
Chad Pearson, 15 kicks at 87%. We know he missed one earlier on in the game, but he's absolutely lethal by foot. And as a defender, 80% is a really good target to set yourself because the ground is at its fattest coming out of defence, and you can find teammates, if you've got good foot skills, keep possession of the ball.
Branchy shoulder to shoulder here, but Carter wins the ball down. Bletchenden gets the hand pass away to Turnbull, playing for the free kick, and he will receive it. Umpire saying held but not in possession. Short, very short. Rayson infringed from behind. They allowed the advantage.
Yeah.
Bring it back. Yes.
He's taken that advantage, I thought.
Oh, it looked like Parker was trying to find the little gap, wasn't he? West Perth were onto it.
Rayson backwards to centre half back. An easy mark drop by Pearson, but he had some time and space and he finds Pickett. He chips it over the top. And getting it towards their forward half now. Bourne takes a bounce. Goes then towards Zach Strom. Once again with him, Munns. It comes to the front. Carr tried to tap it forward. Donaldson on his knees in there. Munns. There is a whistle on play. The umpire saying that a player pushed in the back. It's going to go to Munns against Strom, I think. Munns picking himself up ruefully. In fact, it's not. He's going to throw the ball back. The free kick's actually to Nelson. Scott Nelson. He comes short along the boundary line to Guadanin. Guadagnon short to Black. He has to vacuum on the half volley. Gives it back to Guadagnon. They're fiddling with it here. Hand pass to Munns. Munns then a hand pass into the corridor. Missed in there by Long. Allows McDonald in. His hand pass too slick there for Strom. Going in there and knocking the ball along the ground. West Perth in defence. Black keeps it in. Hugs the boundary line with his kick. Keegan not using the body. He'll track back, but the ball goes out of play in the arms there of Bolognese.
A couple of big captain efforts from Munns then, helping a few of his less experienced teammates get out of trouble.
Zach Strob coming off for a rest, replaced by Hayden Schleith right near this ruck contest. Carter wins it down, whistle on play, and it is a push. Not too sure about that one, but Branchy makes it a free hand pass as he dishes off to Parker. Parker then measures a kick up towards right half forward. The target there was Carr. Scurry at the back. Leaves it behind. Carr gathers. Hand passes back infield. Trying to keep the ball alive. Donaldson off to Main. And then off to a teammate who unfortunately turns it over, Winder. They work it across West Perth towards Nelson. High kick down the wing. Big fist into the crowd in the end from Chad Pearson.
It's a real arm wrestle at the moment. 10 minutes in, no goals scored yet. Both teams playing a similar sort of style. Keep it off possession. It's allowing a lot of density of players to be within that sort of 50-metre radius of the footy, which makes it really hard to break. I think West Perth can now look to put a bit of speed on the ball and try and break a line with a handball receive.
Boundary throw in, one down by Carter, straight down the throat of West. He is dispossessed in the tackle. Schleith gets the loose ball. Off to Ferreira. High kick towards half forward. In front, unable to mark Main, and then he lays a high tackle. And the free kick is going to go the way of Long at left half back. He goes backwards. The umpire says they've got to go on with it. Guadagnon under pressure gives back to Long, and he is slung outside the field of play. Don't forget, you can win throughout the season with the WAFL. All you need to do is go to the website, WAFL. Tickets can be picked up there, wafl.com.au. There's a boundary throw in right on the attacking 50 for Souths. There's too easy for Bevan. Steps through the traffic, kicks down towards the wing. Cleverly done there by Patterson. He knocks it over the back, but there's no cavalry there. It's Byron for South Fremantle. Under pressure, does well. But intercepted. West Perth. Rundle gets it out then towards Patterson. Cleverly played by Nelson. Taps it across to Black and receives a free kick in the process. Lays it off to West. West then kicks to the fat side of the ground, leading out. Scaife takes the mark on the 50. Plays on immediately. Goes up to full forward. South Fremantle have some numbers down there. Dropped in front by Zach Strom. Ferreira gets it. Hand passes off then to Bolognese. High kick back towards the wing. Flying there, McDonald couldn't take the mark. Winder, brilliant. Gathers the footy, but then turns into a tackle. Gets rid of it and hand passes off to Schleith. Some great individual play there by Isaiah Winder as the kick into the path of Pickett. He got a cruel bounce, but he's backed up by his teammate Rayson. He then goes towards Bourne. He wants to play on immediately. Kicks off the outside of the boot beautifully, and Colborne will line up on goal. But some real wizardry by Winder at half back.
He just said, come and tackle me if you want, because you're not going to be able to. And he pushed them off. He fended them off. It was amazing play. Amazing play, Isaiah Winder. And then Schleith, class. Great ball movement by South. They look $1 million when they get the ball moving like that.
Riley Colborne, game number 27. Gets to about 48 metres, unloads on goal. It won't actually have the carry, and it's fisted through back there by Munns for a force behind.
See why Winder was on an AFL list, came with some of that movement.
Now Long, trusted with the duty of bringing the ball back into play. Stagnant at the moment, West Perth. The whistle sounds. He's got to go. He runs out of the goal square, kicks wide towards the outer half-back flank. The target there is Bevan, but the fist in front coming from Branchy, and it's gone out for a throw-in.
I'd like to see him bring it out this side with that long kick in, just to try and keep the ball alive, because it does go out of bounds quite easily out there.
Almost definitely with South Fremantle this quarter, kicking into the breeze. They've controlled the game, and West Perth haven't really looked threatening so far.
just a behind a piece. So we are where we were at half-time, a 2-point advantage to South Fremantle. Branchy in the ruck with Carter. Branchy gets it down, almost gathering at Nelson. West does. Scrubbers it though towards Parker under pressure, gets a hand pass away. Across the body, Schleut has it bounce over his head. Meadows gathers. Powerful kick then towards centre. Half forward, big lead skate. Geez, an exciting young player. He mightn't be in West Perth colours for long as he goes to Keitel, who can carry the distance from here.
Well, he's going back for his 5th out of 6, but Scaife with his 3rd hanger for the day just about. Yeah, he can certainly mark a footy. And it was interesting to see him before. He rolled and kicked on his left foot as well. It was a beautiful left foot kick, so he can obviously quite skillful both sides of his body as well. As we can see there, West Perth haven't kicked a goal for over 30 minutes, but Tyler Keitel has got a big kick on him.
Well, neither side has kicked a goal this quarter. He didn't really strike it as he would like there. It goes off towards the right. South Fremantle will want the boundary line, and they find it courtesy of Turnbull. Unusual there.
Yeah, it was
boy off the shin almost from
we didn't follow through. It was a strange one there. At the moment, West Perth are getting an extra player at the stoppage because South Fremantle got the one back, but the clearances this quarter have been still in South Fremantle's favour. It's 4-8, so it's not working for West Perth at this stage, that tactic. So it'll be interesting to see if they do change anything up towards the end of this quarter.
Patterson in the ruck, palms it down, and it'll be a free kick to DeMark, taken high.
And 50.
Some argument there from Pearson, and this will now be a certain goal.
No, disappointing for the captain. Then he's had a great game. There was a high tackle, and he just remonstrated, and actually remonstrated on Demarte. So 50 makes what was probably going to be a goal, a definite goal.
Looking for his 2nd of the afternoon. Can't miss from there. This will be the first goal of the 3rd quarter, and we're already at the 18-minute mark. But an important goal for West Perth. They wrest back the lead.
Well, the game's really been played between the 50s for about 15 minutes. There's only been 5 inside 50s for South, 3 for West Perth. So it's been played in between the arcs, and it's one of the rare opportunities to get the ball deep for West Perth. And you've got to be so careful at those stoppages that you don't give away free kicks.
Replay for Max's ties. Great hit out there from Patterson. I'm impressed with some of his work. Tomato comes through at pace. Not a tall player. Gets taken high. Plus the 50. That equals 6 points.
9th lead change of the afternoon here at Pentanet Stadium. Neither team has really been able to get a substantial lead at any time. Branchy wins it down. Turnbull. Hurried high kick. West Perth charging at it from various directions. Getting there first will be the pacey Hinder. Back to Scott Nelson. Comes to a halt. Comes towards Meadows. Stands his ground and takes the mark. Pearson with closing speed, but couldn't get there to affect the spoil. Meadows now to Black. He'll have to stand his ground as well. Chopping of the arms. In fact, the umpire saying over the shoulder. Aaron Black had an unusually quiet first half. This man didn't. Nelson gives it back to Black. Black now punches it low and just outside the 50. It's been marked by Robus. He's veered off his mark. He's got to play on. Nurses it inside 50 over the head of Scaife, though. And at the back, it's marked by Byron. Byron across the defensive goal mouth to Schleuf. No pressure, so he can play on and poke it out to McQuilkin. Kicks wide now towards the outer wing. Well weighted. McDonald takes the mark and plays on. He needs to be quick. Todd closing from behind. He goes short and he finds Colborne. He'll come back infield to Main.
Strom versus Munns one-on-one in the goal square. They didn't want that.
Backwards to McQuilkin. Well tackled by Rundle. Main has to go in and support. Short again on the slide. Bletchenden the mark.
You might say, why is South playing like this? For two reasons. One, they're going against the breeze. And two, West Perth have got an extra 2 players behind the ball. They did have. Now they're drawing them out with this kick mark down.
Turnbull. Inside 50. Strom the target. Strom the mark.
And really smart play by South Fremantle there. Just to maintain composure, keep possession, draw out the West Perth spares, which created a leading lane for Zach Strom. And they finished off with a beautiful pass.
Playing without his brother Noah, who is serving a suspension. From Exmouth, the Strom brothers. Dead in front. 45 out, sends it on its way to the Perth City end, and he's missed to the left-hand side.
Blemished his record. He was 9-1 coming into today, and I think he's 0-2 today. A couple of points that he would normally pencil in.
Restart from Julian. It's a good kick. Scurry are in space. Short lead off it from Guadagnon. Wadden now goes for distance, looking for Bevan. In front, though, Rayson gets the fist on it out of play. Todd Curley, who so often coaches from the boundary line on a Saturday afternoon.
Strong West Perth player in the box as well, with Brendan Logan on his team now.
Great left-footed wingman for a long time for the Falcons. From behind, Branchy wins it down. Parker is there, gets a little hand pass to Turnbull. Turnbull goes up to half forward. Strom can't mark it in front. Ball falls in favour of Bevan. Got out of one tackle. Hand pass to Munns. Munns, I think, quite happy to sling it out of play.
You see South still manufacturing a spare player behind the ball in these situations. It's McQuilkin at the moment. He's just rolled off his direct opponent, created a +1 back in front of Keitel and Scaife.
And that's coming out from West Perth pushing into the stoppage. It's not South dropping one back.
No.
South are just holding their 6 defenders.
Branchy wings it down from behind. Chance in there for West. Hurried kick through the hands of the Bulldog in front, Byron, but he'll receive the ball from McQuilkin. Kicks in towards the centre square, marked by Bourne, and away he goes. Goes short, coming out on the lead. Colborne takes the mark.
And you wonder why West Perth are allowing it, right? McQuilkin set up play there. West Perth win the stoppage, kick it forward, and guess who's on the end of the kick? McQuilkin, the spare player.
Hand passes off then towards Winder. Goes long on goal, but pushes it to the right. Another minor score.
So what you do in that situation as the coach is you get a message out to all your forwards and say, we want you to pull away from midfield stoppages, run back towards goal, and make sure all the South defenders have got a direct opponent, and at least we're one-on-one. If we have to quick kick it, we can get a contest, and South can't just rebound the ball back.
Julian inboard to Scott Nelson. Plays on immediately. High kick towards the wing. Branchy in front. A strong mark. South will go back inside their attacking 50. courtesy of Park, who receives the hand pass. And then he goes to Winder. Winder, hurried release inside 50, lands in open territory, socket away by Strong. Overrunning it in there, West. Comes to Schleuf. Hand pass to Colborne, off to Parker. Tried to get it back to Colborne, but didn't make contact. Free kick, they're allowed the advantage. Hinder with it. Bain the hand pass to Julian. Now gives it off to Rundle. Julian has kept running from the very last line. Gets a very kind bounce. Goes towards centre half forward and he finds Scaife.
Hinder's run very hard here from all that defensive 50 as well.
Kick now, goes to Keitel. Can he get it on the bounce? Hemmed in near the boundary line. Pressure being put on him by Bolognue. Ball stays in, they go out. And in the end, tackle laid by Hinder, but Byron wanted it over the line and was able to do that easily.
It's one of the first passages this quarter. West Perth have got a bit of energy on the footy through Hinder and his run. And like you say, Trent, he was running hard, but he could have got it again. And I think that's the sort of play they need to bring in the last quarter, with Hinder in particular breaking the lines.
Knocked over the back there by Branchy. Schleuf's kick, touched off the boot. Leaving it behind in there was Turnbull. Now West to Munns. Left foot kick out wide. Going up with one hand there was Rundle. The back, an opportunity for Pickett. To Branchy. To Parker. Ducking and diving. Gives it back to Branchy. Back to Parker. Ignites the Jets. Runs away from the congestion with a bounce. Gets a hand past the old give and go to Main. Main then gets it on to Winder. Bounces it. Loses it. Gets it back. Gee, Parker's kept running. Well tackled to ground though by Guadinin, and it'll be a ball up.
Although they were out then, South. They were out. I think Pickett or Winder had to kick the ball. It was Winder on that occasion because the South players were goal side streaming back towards goal.
Holding his ground in front, Strong wins it down. Schleuf zigging, zagging, goes into the centre square. He sets a task there for Bletchinen opposed to Todd, who has infringed. Bletchinen, the hand pass off to Racing, inside 50, straight onto the chest of the first gamer. So Carr here to line up on goal. Jaron Carr, son of Matt, who played 162 games with St Kilda and Fremantle, the nephew of the Port Adelaide Premiership player and also Fremantle docker in Josh Carr. So quite some pedigree.
It's looked like this is his 12th disposal, 4 marks, playing across half forward.
So Jaron Carr, he'll have the hair ruffled by all and sundry if he can put this through. Nursing it from 45 metres, misses to the left. They draw to within a solitary point.
Well, they've had the better of the quarter. They've been inside 59 times to West Perth's 6. We think the breeze has dropped down a little bit, but it's still worth a goal or two, we think. So South have had by far the better quarter, dominating the clearances 12-6.
Julian brings it. Now it's a 50-metre penalty. The ball will be taken now, in fact, from the defensive edge of the centre square. Not too sure what the infringement was, but happened well off the ball. Julian kicks into the centre of the ground. It's marked by West. Now West has got to play a free here at left half forward. Damate doesn't get there. Byron Courage stood there with Damate charging at him. Never flinched. Byron now out towards Turnbull on the stretch. In the shadow of the little grandstand, emerges into brilliant sunshine. Sets it high towards the wing, and there's no mark taken because the siren sounds. A very odd third quarter. It was a little bit of a push and a shove on the siren.
And Parker, 21 disposals with 6 clearances.
Just waiting for the DJ to pull the music down in the grandstand, which thankfully he has now done. And we're underway in the final turn. One down in the middle there by Carter. West tapping it up, then tried to soccer it forward unsuccessfully. Great tackle and Winder there by Meadows. The ball spills to West. Kicks cleverly off the outside of the right boot, looking for Knott, but clears him. Byron marks in defence.
Hasn't looked dangerous so far today, Keegan Knott, but we know he only needs a couple of touches to turn the game.
Over the head of the leading Main. West tidies up for the Falcons. Pulls the kick back across the body. The target, Rundle, getting in there racing, but he's tackled immediately to ground.
Got the free kick, I think maybe it might have been a bit high.
He does pick himself up, having received the whistle. Short to the excitement machine Winder. Former West Coast Eagle. Goes back inside 50. Keitel had a look at it, and he's able to take the mark and line up on goal. That was very casual by Isaiah Winder.
Yeah, it was casual, but one thing you don't want to be doing when there's a lateral ball coming is waiting for it. You've got to meet the footy. You don't want to be waiting because they do get picked off, and Keitel is a predator inside that forward 50.
He's had a couple of opportunities for a fifth today. He has another one here, and he's still looking for it. Pushes it right, doubles their lead.
Winder takes a deep breath. He's played very well today, so it would have been a bad blemish on his game.
4 goals, 3 this afternoon for Tyler Keitel, who leads the Bernie Naylor charge early in the season. Pearson indecisive. He decides now he'll come towards the Wynnum Dempsey stand side. And a good fist in there by Long, putting it out of play off the chest of McDonald. Just 1 goal scored since half-time in this game. Went West Perth's way to secure a narrow lead heading into the 3-quarter time break. Carter stands his ground, wins it down, but only as far as Parker. Little look away, hand pass to Winder. Wriggles out of the tackle there of Demade, takes a bounce. It's almost like he's attacking the Perth City end goal. Now gets a hand pass away to McQuilkin. McQuilkin, short kick. Fisted away, though, in there by Todd, but it comes back to Bletchenden. Bletchenden now, some bounces towards the outer wing. Todd pursuing him, puts pressure on Bletchenden. Kick goes out towards the boundary line, kept alive by Carr, and Bletchenden has kept running. Another bounce, then goes inside 50. Strom falls over at the vital stage. Munns remains upright and pokes it short along the line to Scott Nelson.
That's been a great battle, Munns, Strom all day.
Meadows with it now. Punches the drop punt into the wind. That's a beautiful kick, straight onto the chest of Cooper Todd. Todd now hugging the boundary line on the outer side. Backpedaling here is not. Challenge front on. The mark not paid. The umpire saying it was the challenge from McQuilkin that has earned not the kick. Started his career at Claremont. 5 or 6 games with the Tigers before heading north, and has been a very valuable small forward for many a game now for the Falcons. He runs inboard, then kicks deep into the pocket. Should really have marked that one Turley in defence. And in the end taken over by Tamate.
Reasonable purchase on that kick. Looked like he was straight into the breeze, but maybe it's not as strong as what that holy sock makes it look.
Carter and Branchy again. Carter up, lovely palm down, trying to come through. Black tackled, gets a quick kick away. Turley drops the mark and then shins it through for a force behind. 3-point lead.
Dangerous in the second half is actually from stoppages in that forward 50. They scored their last goal from there, and that one was another one. So Patterson doing well in those battles.
Casual by Turley into the path of McQuilkin, can go to Pearson. Short lead offered by McDonald, just gets there in the nick of time.
Brother of Sydney Swan Logan McDonald, Connor McDonald.
Pearson.
I don't know about this. I don't know about going backwards and sideways. I think they need to keep the ball progressing forwards here, Sarah.
McQuilkin goes now towards the first gamer. Carr still in their defensive half, Souths. Now they get to the middle of the ground. Unkind bounce for Scott Nelson. It allows Bourne in. We know he's got pace. Takes a bounce. That is a well-weighted kick. Running with the flight. Unable to mark Bletchenden. Had the jumper stretch. No whistle. Hand passes to Strom. Hand passes to Turnbull. Turnbull will concede. Ground whistle on play. Strom's got the free kick for a lingering tackle.
Yeah, well, Carr's kick may have been a little bit ill-directed, but at least it went through the middle of the ground, which created a spill and then some speed on the ball, enabling South to get it inside their forward line in a dangerous fashion. You see the free kick there, which was a slinging tackle. Really lucky there that Strom, his head did hit the ground, but gets the free kick. He's up and about. And
43 minutes since their last goal, South.
Scott Nelson lucky with that tackle. Strom with the win. Sets it on its way, and Souths have hit the front in this final quarter at Pentanet Stadium.
Yeah, the kick from Carter in the middle was interrupted, but the ball hit the deck in a dangerous spot and board. He hasn't had a lot of possessions, but whenever he has, South looked dangerous. And it was a well-weighted kick that just didn't quite work out, but come to Strom, who then was the victim of a sling tackle and made the most of it.
On the Amy replay, we can see Strom getting rid of the ball there and slung to the ground, and his head did hit the ground. Finishes beautifully. He's been deadly this year. Not so much today, but he hits the scoreboard at a much-needed time for South, and this game's very evenly poised. We're set for a very exciting finish.
Yeah, 10 goals, 3 this season for Strom. Had 9-1 coming in. Carter in the ruck, but Branchy wins it down over the footy. Standing tackle there laid by Meadows. Another ball up in the middle.
And accuracy is something that it hasn't changed over the decades of footy. It's always been about 58, 59% accuracy.
Branchy wins it down. Parker collared by Meadows. Another ball up.
And Zach Strom obviously bucking that trend. And Tyler Keitel is also a very accurate kick.
Again, Branchy wins it down. Meadows sharks it, goes to ground. Hand pass in the direction of Black. He's shunted off the footy by Winder. West gathering, tackled to ground, holding the ball. Seemed to have a lot of prior opportunity there, Connor West, but the free kick's going to Turnbull.
May have been the fend off was the umpire's cue.
Turnbull sinks the slipper into it. Up into the slipstream of the sou'wester. No one can take the mark. 4 players over the footy. Rundle off to Scott Nelson. Wide towards the outer side, but onto the chest of Turley. He comes back infield to the edge of the centre square. Parker with it. And he's going to go diagonally back into the back half. And Bollinger, who'll kick into the centre of the ground, and Pearson attacking their way forward at the moment. Pearson now goes out towards the lead of Colborne. Doesn't get that far, though, and in front, the mark has been taken by Turnbull.
Well, it's 25 disposals to 13. South are owning the footy at the moment.
Turnbull's going to go back and take the shot. Just needs to aim just left of the left goalpost with this sou'wester.
Coming in for his 8th disposal. Already kicked a goal. He's been very lively.
From 48 metres, sends it on its way, missing to the near side. A reprieve for the Falcons. Wait for Griffith Julian to bring the ball back into play. Run it towards the scoreboard side and then go looking for West. Thwarted front on. Good spoil there by Winder. Gathered by Guadanin. Kicks over the outer wing. The target there, Patterson, sandwiched between a couple of Bulldogs. Don't forget our WAFL Wonderland running through till the middle of the season. Plenty of activities at selected games each weekend. There are plenty of bouncy castles, face painting, even a DJ in attendance after the final siren. Just go to the website, check out which venue it is on any given Saturday afternoon. Carter to have a go at Strom in the ruck this time. Carter, beautiful palm over the back, straight down the throat of Meadows. Didn't have to break stride. Goes looking for Keitel, the recipient of a free. Dragged to ground when the ball was coming in. Bolton not happy, but never seen an umpire change his mind. So another opportunity for Kyler Keitel to bag his 5th.
On the back of some good ruck work out the back. Again, that's the work that's worked for them. And South probably have to be awake to that now, because that seems their method of operation, particularly when they're behind.
4 goals, 3 this afternoon, one of them hitting the woodwork for Tyler Keitel. Sends it on its way. He knows the breeze pretty well here at Pentanet Stadium. He's put it through and put his team back in front.
as we mentioned, accuracy is a very, very underrated stat in footy, and it makes all the difference. We see Bourne with the set shot down there, and he misses a shot to the wind side. It's like missing a putt down on the downside of the slope. You want a positive error, miss it on the wind side, miss it to the left. But Keitel there, as you said, Glenn, he has grown up playing here, nailed it.
The Amy replay, Meadows, the recipient of some really good ruck work. Keitel initiated the contact, but the defender got a bit handsy there. He's obviously up against Keitel, a little bit nervous. Then Keitel uses the breeze for his advantage and gives West Perth back the lead.
So the race for the Bernie Naylor medal in 2024, Tyler Keitel now opening up a 3-game break. See a lot of dashes on the board there. There are only 3 games this weekend, so 4 teams having the bye. Schleith goes to ground, and the umpire will throw it up. A standalone Saturday fixture today, which is unusual. Going up high there, Carter wins it down. Ball jars out of the pack. Charging through, but unable to gather was Racing. He then goes back and lays the tackle on Bevan.
West Perth is still happy to roll it forward up to these stoppages. DeMarty and McQuilkin drops off him to give South a +1.
Oh, fresh air shot there by Nelson. Parker in there, tackled to ground by Bevan. Another ball up in the square. It's like Trent off the first tee at Royal Wembley. Swing and a miss there by Shane Nelson. Going up high there, one down by Patterson, but again a stoppage. How have you been hitting him lately, Trent?
Not too many windies, but a lot of ones going off the fairway.
Ball on the deck. Schleith overruns it. Gathered by Diamante, hacks a kick forward. McQuilkin had bounced up to his Adam's apple, but he gathered it on the second attempt. Kicks out wide, right into the path here of Ferreira. Tucks it under the arm and then goes to the lead of Carr. Just forward to the outer wing. Carr now punches it low, coming out Colborne. Forced to fist it away there from Julian in front. Gathered by Carr again into the pocket, and South's a strong grab. Well, Carr did very well, involved in that move forward there twice. And it's going to result in a shot on goal here for Donaldson. Now, he is a left footer.
Quiet game, but very much like Keegan, not capable of bobbing up with a couple of goals late, which could be the difference.
He's going to come inboard and run towards the centre half forward area and pull it back across the body. Everyone holds their breath here in the Wynne and Dempsey stand. Trying to put his team back in front. He's hit the wrong part of the footy. It'll land at the top of the goal square, and Hinder keeps it alive. Gets the hand pass away to Long. Long kicks to the outer side, and Rundle can't affect the spoil. It's marked by Ferreira. It was interesting by Hinder.
Yeah,
could have easily taken that over the line.
2 points of difference. That comes into play at this time.
Yeah, true. McQuilkin with the footy now. All bar 3 players in front of him. Goes long towards full forward through the hands of Strom. At the back, loose footy. Tackled to ground, Carr. West Perth win the day though. Black receives it from Long. Uses it well to the pacey Hinder. Hinder now with Black continuing to run on. Spoilt from behind. What does the umpire say? Throw it in. That was a legal spoil there by Zach Strom.
Yeah, first, second or third quarters, I've got no doubt Hinder takes that through, but 2 points up this stage of the game. Probably the right decision to run it out.
Ball to emerge from shadow to sunlight here with the ruck contest between Branchy and Carter. Branchy wins it down. Winder playing for the free kick. Opposed to Nelson, gathers the ball, runs away, shoots and goals. Geez, had some great individual highlights for his package today, Isaiah Winder, and he gives South Fremantle the lead once again.
Yeah, Winder reads that ball off the pack very well then. Uses his strength and power. He plays a little bit like Rudy Riddick has played at this ground for West Perth. Just pushes his off. Great finish. Just playing with real confidence. I haven't seen the confidence in play like this before, but you can see he's a real player of the future.
He's had 5 inside 50s, 3 clearances and 1 goal too at 21 possessions. A fair game. on the Amy replay, you can see Winder here just brushing off his opponent with ease and finishing beautifully. He's had an excellent game, 21 disposals, 5 inside 50s, 3 clearances, 1 goal, 2. It's been a really good play for South today.
11th lead change of the afternoon. Patterson in the ruck now. 1 down again by Branchy. Schleuther's there. Quick kick. It'll bounce its way out towards the boundary line on the outer side. Foot races on. Todd there first for West Perth. Hand passes to a backpedaling Nelson who falls over. Ball then gathered by Donaldson. Now it's going to be a relay free. It was a mark anyway. Strom had taken the mark, but Donaldson was dished one after he kicked it forward. So I said it wouldn't have mattered. Strom was going to line up either way.
And this matchup's been a really interesting one. We thought that it was only a matter of time before Strom started to clunk a couple. He's going back now for his second goal. He's had 4 shots on goal. He could be the difference this matchup.
South Fremantle, an opportunity to move to a double-figure lead, and he has put it through. Zach Strom standing up when it really counts, and South Fremantle extend their lead to double figures.
Yeah, he's probably dropped, I reckon, 3 or 4 marks today, Strom, that he would normally take. The ball's gone through his hands. I still think that matchup, he's got the advantage if they can get it to him one-on-one. And I know it was a free kick pay, but he also marked the ball.
Great pressure from Donaldson there. We said he doesn't need too many possession to impact the game. Gets the ball on his left foot. Marked by Strom. It was going to be a down the ground free kick anyway. And Strom goes back. And it's been an influence. It's been a great battle between him and Munns. But in the end, the goals from Strom is going to be crucial.
That's the equal game high lead. 10 points. It shows you how close it's been. 28-minute mark of the first quarter. West Perth had a 10-point advantage. Bletchenden kicks wide towards the outer wing. McDonald and Todd arrive, but the ball goes over.
And we know West Perth have a fantastic history of coming back from behind and winning at the death on this ground. So it could still happen. Yeah, it's only 2 kicks, but it will be a shortish quarter. There's probably 10 minutes to go, I would imagine.
Starting way back on the edge of the centre square here, the Ruckman. Bletchenden to McDonald. High kick. Collision of bodies. Parker offhand. Now the non-controlling umpire there has picked out a push. The umpire way down in South Fremantle's attacking 50. Donaldson, who's been in the game of late. Kicks now deep into the pocket. Strom the target. He arrives late. Courage shown there by Julian. Could have done some damage there, Zach Strom. Thankfully didn't. Julian back towards the scoreboard wing. The ball breaking on that cross breeze and will trickle out of play.
They're probably going to have to take a few chances now, West Perth. They're going to have to try and cut the ball back through the middle of the ground, get a bit of speed on the ball, and create a fast break goal. 2 goals needed, and they've only kicked a couple in the last 2 quarters.
Scaife having a run in the ruck, but 1 down by Branchy again. A hand pass from Todd, knocked down by Nelson. Hand pass from Bletchenden to Parker, back towards the boundary line. Bletchenden, Schleuth, Branchy, working in a telephone booth here at the moment. Branchy bounces a kick along the line. Scott Nelson content to see it out. Don't forget, AFL coming up directly after this game. We're off to Optus Stadium. Fremantle looking to return to the winner's circle when they take on the Western Bulldogs. Football action to continue throughout the night on 7.
And I'm really interested in how they can leave Chad Pearson free behind the ball. Again, an extra number for South, which makes it so much harder for West Perth to navigate to score.
Branchy wins it down. Todd, the hand pass, away goes West with a bounce. Gets to the centre circles, goes up towards centre half forward. Oh, it bounces off the chest on the bounce there of Pearson, knocking the ball forward. Patterson gathered back there. Is that a high tackle? It is. He was starting to drop to the knees there, racing, but the umpire awarding the free kick. Player breaking to the wing is born. Plays on by hand to Pearson. He's got it up to the wing. Cheeky little short kick here. Marking and playing on the first gamer. Carr goes long from beyond 50, and on the stretch, Munn's able to get their fingers on it. That's a behind. Julian immediately restarts play. Out towards long, he's missed the target, and it will be a boundary throw-in.
Should it be, though?
Well, he came out of the goal square.
Yeah, I know, but
no,
you know, it's still a kick-in. But they always come out of the goal square now these days, don't they? 90% of kick-ins are out of the goal square.
You know why they come out of the goal square? So you get possession. You get a stat.
Or is it deliberate? These days they pay deliberate for that as well, don't they?
Boundary throw-in. In front, one down by Carter, taken by Munns. High kick to the defensive 50, flying with courage. Bevan couldn't take the mark. He'll get it on ground level though. Turns back into the congestion. Hand pass will be stolen by Schleuf, taken high.
That would only be the 550th time it's been taken high in his career, I reckon.
He is clever.
Oh, he's such a good player, Hayden Schleuf. He's had a great game today. 29 disposals.
11 clearances.
11 clearances, yep.
Kicks deep into the pocket. No one can take the mark. It'll trickle behind for a 2-goal advantage now to Souths.
And I sound like a broken record, but they must even up this out number inside their forward line. They must even it up.
Well, last time they defeated West Perth, you've got to go back to the opening round of 2021. Now, from the kick-in, the kick goes wide there from Scurrier. Kept along, and Quadden, though, tackled the ground. Still time for West Perth if they're good enough. Branchy tries to do his own roving. Meadows is in there as well. Bletchenden gets it out to Schleuf. Schleuf hurriedly to Ferreira. Kicks up towards half forward, over the back of the pack. Chance in here for West Perth to bottle it up, and they bottled it up, but given away a free kick in the process. Umpire saying it was dragged back in by Scurrier. Dylan Main with the free kick. Gets the hand pass away, kicked forward, the mark back there by Julian. Unfortunately, Ferreira couldn't find a target. Fiddlinger with it in the last line, Guadagnon to Long to Black. They've got it beyond their defensive 50. They're working into probably a 2-goal breeze. Julian makes himself available on the boundary line. Blankers kept running. Now he goes short, inboard. Bevan. Slow, patient build up into the wind here. Bevan just kicks it high to the wing. It's out of bounds on the full. The target there was Patterson, but it drifted wide, and the free kick to Chad Pearson. Short inboard. The mark taken there by Winder. Back to Pearson. Pearson kicks towards centre half back. Racing back to Byron. Going to try and wind the clock down, the Bulldogs. They've got a player free towards the outer wing in Ferreira. Ferreira now plays on wide, leading up and unable to mark in front there. Bletchen, and the ball stays in. Cooper Todd soccers it forward. Now, free kick has gone, in fact, against Todd back behind play after he socketed it forward. So we've got an entangle with Bletchenden, and the reigning best and fairest for the Bulldogs has the kick. From a stand start, he pokes it over the man on the mark. Finds Donaldson. They're quite content now, Michael, to work the clock.
Yeah, they're very professional the way they're managing the time on the clock at the moment. Kick it long down the line, force a contest, take some more seconds off.
Donaldson long towards right full forward. Strom brings it down with one hand. Carter tackle. Yep. Another baller.
And that's perfect footy. Perfect footy by South. Stoppage, numbers around the stoppage, make it super hard for West Perth to break.
Strom in the ruck this time. Carter times his leap, wins it down. Schleuf is there, goes to ground. Strom knocks it out. On the boundary line, Parker back across his body. Scott Nelson drops the mark, tackled towards the line by Donaldson, and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
That's right where they need it, and played it very well the last 5 or 10 minutes, South. Dominated field position.
Their 12-point lead is the biggest either team has held this afternoon. It's been an arm wrestle throughout. Strom from behind, wins the ball down. Chance in here for Winder. He'll concede a bit of ground and they'll wind the clock down again with Ferreira.
He can take 30 seconds here.
Yeah, with the winds.
Yep.
Taking a shot.
Yep, taking a shot for sure. And then don't take the shot. Just kick it to the edge of the square on the skinny side. Or do this.
Yep, sure.
Take another 30 seconds.
Yep, now Donaldson will do just that. Time ebbing away. In fact, it's Byron well up from defence, not Donaldson, in the 27th minute now. Byron using all his time up. They've picked up the best part of a minute with 2 possessions there on the clock. Byron now kicks it into the pocket through the hands of Main. Boundary throw in.
And that's a great kick by Byron as well. Great kick, because the worst result would have been a point. Give West Perth the ball, but out of bounds, run some more time off the clock.
Fremantle stalking their first win, as we saw, since the opening round of 21 against West Perth. Holding his ground in front. Carter palms the ball down. Julian runs away from the congestion. Left foot kick wide to the outer side. Free kick. Molyneux's given that one away, and it's going to go the way of Patterson. They need to get a wriggle on now. Patterson hand passes forward of the play. It was intended for Bevan. Gathered by Julian. Slung to ground. Souths win the day. Ground level. Parker stands in the tackle. Hand passes to Bletchenden. Off in turn to Winder. Grinds to a halt. Pops it over the top. And again, they'll just slow the clock. Carr with the footy. Looks like he'll celebrate a win in his first league game.
He's had a good debut. He's had a really good debut. Possession 17. It's a really good effort.
And a good kick towards the boundary line. Trickles over the back. Another throw in.
Yeah, very, very professional last 5 minutes of footy by South. Chewed off plenty of time on the clock and really iced this game. There's probably only 30 seconds to go of real time.
Yep, 28 gone. 2 goals the margin. West Perth at the wrong end of the ground. Carter flicks it over the back. Socket off the ground by West towards centre half back, but straight into the waiting arms of Bourne. He'll take his time. Said to the umpire, I'm going to take a shot. So another potential 25 odd seconds can be ebbed down. He's not going to use it all, eh? He'll go short. Schleuf on the lead. Now he'll slow the clock. So often you see, Michael, nowadays, a team turn the ball over in this circumstance, but they've held it for the best part of 4 minutes.
It's been one of the better displays of controlled footy to take time off a clock that I've seen at any level, really, for quite a while. Very professional. Collingwood are very good at it in the AFL, and South have done it in the last 7 or 8 minutes. They've played it perfectly.
Hayden Schleuf. He is going to take a legitimate shot on goal. Gives it a good roost with the breeze, and it's a 3-goal win, you'd think, to Souths. Siren not far away.
And that is just deluxe football by South Fremantle. Really, really well played. Some good leadership out there. I think Hayden Schleuf just had an enormous game. Put some icing on his cake for the day. 32 disposals, 11 clearances and a goal. Some sort of game. It's the fittest I've seen Hayden Schleuf for probably 4 or 5 years, Glenn. He's really covering the ground well, and he's silk when he gets the ball. What great play by South Fremantle, just to milk this clock over the last 6 or 7 minutes. Keep possession of the ball, play dead side, and we see Hayden Schleuf there. When he gets the opportunity, he nails it. He has had a great game today, Hayden Schleuf. 32 disposals, a goal. He's had 11 clearances, 17 contested possessions, covering the ground beautifully. And what a great acquisition again for South this year he is.
Branchy wins it down, and here he is again. Schleuf across the body, out towards right half forward, open territory. Strom leading Munns in the race. Together they'll see it over the line.
And, we give South a lot of credit. West Perth a little bit disappointing, particularly the way that they've allowed South to establish an extra player behind the ball.
Next week, down to Mandurah, Peel Thunder, up against West Perth, who will certainly be coming off a loss. And they'll come off a loss to a margin of 18 points. The siren sounds And for the first time since the opening round of 2021, South Fremantle have picked up premiership points against the Falcons. 10-11-71 to 7-11-53. A very professional performance by the Bulldogs.
Oh, super impressed the way they've managed the game. They changed their style of play.